We know it's going to be 3,000 fans inside the Dome this weekend.
Yeah, it's nice to get some fans in there. Hopefully that's just kind of a small step on our way to getting some more fans in there. I know certainly as a team we would love that. Obviously, it seems like everybody's worked really hard with the safety protocols. I know certainly the Superdome has, and I think the fans would do whatever they need to do in order to be able to be a part of that and be inside the Dome. So hopefully this is 3,000 on our way to many, many more.
Next one's from Brooke Kirchhoffer.
Hey, Drew, last year you spoke with us and said you told us think that the place that you saw when Joe Brady joined LSU's offense, are you seeing that now on tape as he's joined the Panthers?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously similar concepts and things that carry over, but inevitably, what you do, every year is, you take a look at the personnel that you have, and then you build the offense and the schemes around the guys that you have. So, they come up with new ideas just like we come up with new ideas, and so there's some stuff out there that may be a little different, but at the end of the day, I think the base offense is very similar.
Next one's from Jory Paris.
Hey, Drew, this is Ed. Couple questions. Why have you guys been so good in October? It seems like for whatever reason, you guys have been outstanding in this month. And with that in mind, do you think it's maybe you guys have a little bit of a run in you? It's time to maybe string them together. Every time you guys have a great year, usually you have one of those streaks at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I think you always find out a lot about yourself in the early going. Every year is a new year. Every year is a new team, and you never just pick up where you left off. You always have to, reestablish the foundation. And, in the month of September, as you're playing those first few games, you begin to establish, your identity and who you are and who you're trying to be. And, I think that we've learned a lot here over the first, call it 5 weeks of the season. We've had some guys step up and play that, we didn't know would be playing, obviously as a result of injury and various things. And so, I think that's maybe why, once you get to October and November, certainly that's the heart of the season, that's the meat of the season, but it's also when you've been able to establish who you are and your identity, and you can pin your ears back and go.
Next one's from Amy Just.
Yeah, Mike hasn't played since week 1. So when a guy's been sidelined for that long, do you expect the chemistry to pick up where it left off, or does it take a little bit of time to get reacquainted with each other?
Well, here's the thing. I think that's usually dependent on who it is, and I think it depends on your level of experience and time on task and that kind of thing. Mike has only missed one game up to this point. It was back in 2016, I believe, his rookie year. He missed one game. So he's been so steady. He's been in there every game, just about every rep, so we have had a ton of time together. So I'm confident that, we're right back, on the same page, and that's why you practice too. Obviously we work very hard during the week to get on the same page with the game plan and maybe some of the nuances. But at the end of the day, there's a ton of confidence that I have in a guy like Mike Thomas.
Next one's from Mike Neighbors.
Hey, Drew, Teddy said so many things that he's learned from you in his time in New Orleans. I'm just curious, did you learn anything from Teddy when he was in New Orleans?
Yeah, Teddy is such a steady, calm, poised leader. And something that I appreciated about him was, Teddy had his own process. Teddy came in and had a couple of years as a starter, obviously in Minnesota, playing at a very high level, and just kind of obviously the injury and waiting for his opportunity to come back in. He had been in a good system there. He had been exposed to another system in New York, exposed to our system when he came to us. Teddy obviously had the things that he liked and was very good at, but at the end of the day, his process was his process to get himself ready to play. His leadership style was his leadership style, and I appreciated that, and I felt like the guys responded to it. And there was just a real calm presence when it came to Teddy, and I think we all appreciated that.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Drew, after 5 weeks, and having a chance to kind of reassess after the bye, is there anything that stands out in particular you want the offense to improve moving forward?
Yeah, there are some things, and it's stuff we talked about and stuff we're going to be working on.
Next one's from John DeSager.
Drew, you mentioned the team's identity. Who is this team that do you feel right now? You guys have had a couple of double-digit comebacks, and you're 3-2, and yet you guys don't feel like you played as well as you can.
Yeah, I think. Listen, you focus on the statistics that matter. You focus on the statistics that equate to winning football. At the end of the day, it's being the most efficient, most productive offense that we can be. So in the running game, you can look at it as yards per carry. You can look at it as, short yardage conversions. You can look at it any number of ways. But at the end of the day, are we sustaining drives? Do we have balance? Are we efficient? Are we avoiding negative plays and constantly getting positive plays? Are we scoring touchdowns? Are we taking care of the football? So you really just try to simplify it and look at it like that. Man, when there's opportunities for big plays, are we making them? Otherwise, are we doing all the little things right to sustain drives and put points on the board?
Next one's from Stacey Dales.
Hey, Drew, you've obviously over the years been so adept at spreading the ball around. I'm curious, though, how one player in Michael Thomas impacts every nuance of what you guys do offensively and the impact there. And I just wondered if you've also kept in closer touch with Teddy than we might know.
Teddy and I shot text back and forth a little bit during the offseason. We haven't reached out during the season yet, but obviously there's certainly a huge mutual respect there. And like I said before, I really appreciate that time with Teddy, and I'm extremely happy for him and the opportunity that he has there in Carolina. And I think he's doing a great job. And I think he's going to be the franchise quarterback there for a very long time and have a ton of success. And he deserves it. He deserves it. As far as Mike Thomas, I think just as you build a game plan throughout the week, I think for me, it's just, man, I want to know who's in different places, right? Because that affects my thought process. So it's more so, like if a guy's playing, you can visualize and you can plan for where he's going to be and where that outlet might be or whatever it might be. It's the times where there's uncertainty, or all of a sudden, somebody goes down in the middle of a game, that all of a sudden can kind of throw a wrench in some things, because all of a sudden maybe you have a game plan built for someone, and now all of a sudden you're plugging somebody else into that role or what have you. So the fact that, a guy's playing, obviously that makes a big difference.
Next one's from Mike Triplett.
Hey, Drew, sorry for the flood of Teddy questions, but in addition to the qualities you already mentioned, what traits specifically make him a good fit for this offense or the offense he's running now that has similarities to yours? Because I know it can be a pretty complex offense. What makes him such a good fit for it?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I don't know the verbiage that they're using, but I'm pretty sure it's probably similar to what we use, at least it was when they were at LSU, So obviously you don't have that hurdle to jump, as far as learning totally new names or just the memorization of names, formations of concept, that kind of stuff. But I think anytime you have experience within a system, you begin to develop confidence in what you're doing, and things begin to just become second nature and muscle memory, and obviously that allows you to play faster and allows you to play more confident.